We are going to check out how the Balkans tried to build a nuke.
The year is 1949. World War II was a thing of the past. America went back on focusing on skin color, and the world was split into two warring factions who were just itching to get at each other's throats and expand their spheres of influence. Caught between a rock and a hard place was Yugoslavia.
If you ask someone the best part of history in the best part of the world, I don't have space to move, but in our hearts we will for always be, I don't know, bro, bratstvo I jedinstvo.
Under the competent yet teetering leadership of Josip Broz Tito. Already dealing with the delicate ethnic balance of Yugoslavia, he didn't want to also deal with the external bullshit from other superpowers.
Yeah,
so,
bro.
Like any sane
America
red
fucked
state
them.
American, he decided to arm himself to the teeth,
Yeah.
expecting that both sides would pull some crap and invade the country. But just spending every Yugoslav's paycheck on guns wasn't enough. So, Tito
Paychecks? In Yugoslavia there was money? Excuse me? I wasn't aware of that. I actually, first time I'm hearing of in Yugoslavia actually people having money. First time hearing, man.
decided to get a nuclear
Good to
bomb.
know the chat is working though. That's good.
The first thing you need in order to build an atomic bomb is,
Is the power of friendship.
obviously, a JBL blasting Rocky Vulovic and several crates of Zaječarsko. Oh wait,
Zaječarsko is not actually that good. Yeah, I'm gonna get lynched for that, but Zaječarsko is actually pretty mid. You drink Nikšićko or Kamenica. You don't drink Zaječarsko. Fuck Zaječarsko. I'm gonna get lynched
The
for
first thing you need in order to build an atomic bomb is obviously a nuclear research center where scientists and engineers can experiment and develop it. Simple.
Probably.
However, given that we're talking about Yugoslavia, a country where if you lovingly stroke a Serb without giving a Croatian a goodnight kiss, the entire country would erupt in civil war, the development was split between three research.
That's a bit much actually. You wouldn't even need to do that. If you glanced at one without glancing at the other, the country would fall.
Divisions in Serbia, Croatia, and Slovenia. This was another attempt
We got left out. Boo. I don't think we even existed back then, but boo.
for Tito to boost the shared national identity and not play favorites with his republics. And nothing screams brotherhood and unity like developing a world-ending weapon. But
Yes.
obviously, the institute closest to Belgrade was set as the main one, the Vinča Nuclear Institute. Having three different institutions was a recipe for disaster. As you can imagine, the research was similar to a box of cigarettes sold in Bosnia, filled with smoke, residue, and written in three languages for no good reason. The
Yeah, no, there is a good reason. I'm not politically equipped to give that reason, but there probably is a good reason.
program was plagued by a lack of communication and coordination between these three institutes. Research was often duplicated, resources were spread thin, and rivalries sometimes led to reluctance to share findings, crippling progress. After years of experimenting, I've found perfect hammer. With just one hit, uranium will split and go boom! No way. Which hammer? I'm not telling you. What? Why not? Cause it's state secret. Comrade, we work for same state. Three institutes all
No, he's over exaggerating a bit, but yeah, that was probably true. You have to love our people, man. You have to love them.
triple the regular amount of socialist state secrecy and bureaucracy. Because if the Balkans love anything, that's waiting in line to file paperwork, only to be told to get back in line because they
No. I love paperwork, man. I go there at 9:30. Their break is at 11, mind you. I go there at 9:30. Yo, man, can I finish my food? Sure, bro, finish your food. I wait for 15 minutes for him to finish his food. I tell him, okay, man, I need this, and that, and that. Okay, here's a stack of forms. Go there in the corner and fill them out. Motherfucker, You could have told me that while you were fucking eating. There was no one, by the way. There was no one. It was empty. For like, I didn't need to stay in line. That's why I'm angry. It was empty. There was no one. And motherfucker couldn't just tell me, "Ah, yeah, bro, here you go. Go fill that out. I'll finish my food and we'll go on our way." Nope. And don't even get me started on their fucking break, bro. The break is from, let's say, at 11 to 11:30. I go there at 12:15. Motherfucker still haven't come back from the break. And I wait for like half an hour still. And I come and he's, "What you want? Why you here? You're missing one paper. Go there. But can't you get it?" "No, I can't. You have to go there and do that." "Why? Yeah, why you here?" Fuck, bro. Fucking get Rule 34 furry artists working there. Them motherfuckers is so fast and efficient, bro. We will have everything done. We will become a world power. So just do it. Trust me. Current government, do it.
Forgot one paper. Of course, you can't do any meaningful research if you don't have the necessary equipment and material. Being the smooth talker and pro cigar puffer that he was, Tito leveraged his non-aligned status and managed to secure lucrative deals with both sides of the Cold War in order to cross his nuclear shopping list. The US, for instance, helped by allowing Yugoslav scientists and engineers to conduct research at American universities and sending geologists to survey for potential uranium deposits. They even collaborated on the construction of the Krško nuclear power plant with the US firm Westinghouse, being the first communist country to receive such aid from America. Yugoslavia also began
makes sense.
a research collaboration with fellow neutral nation Norway, aiding Yugoslavia in plutonium reprocessing, which was a big deal for the Norwegians as the salmon were crossing way too many red lines. Meanwhile, in spite of Stalin trying to kill Tito a little short of 1 billion times, the Soviet Union also sought to keep Yugoslavia in its sphere of influence.
Yeah, if you ask, anyone in the historical sphere, Stalin and Tito loved each other. They were pretty much best buddies. They tried, Stalin mainly tried to kill him multiple times, but hey, they were still best buddies.
The USSR supplied the country with highly enriched uranium.
Is that train? Is that train? Is that
For its
bro? I can't fuck this, bro. Is that train from CS? And now, bro, I hate the YouTube player. I hate the YouTube player. Is this train? No, it isn't. Bro, nah, everything looks like a CS map to me. Fuck that.
Country with highly enriched uranium for its research reactors, making up for their low-quality deposits. However, the uranium trade was derailed following the Tito-Stalin split, after Stalin tried the 1,000,001 time to have Tito assassinated. Following Stalin's death, Soviet-Yugoslav reconciliations revived nuclear collabs between the two socialist nations, culminating with the Soviet-supplied RA reactor at the Vinča Institute. Okay, so
Nice.
Stalin was a bit and I just wanted to apologize about the whole poison in your coffee thing. Apologies don't fix broken trust. Actions do. What about a brand new RA reactor?
Lore accurate. Yugoslav, Russia, Soviet relations.
All in all, in spite of the regional bureaucratic nightmare, the Yugoslav nuclear program was well prepared and started on the right foot, with eager global powers from both sides of the Cold War pining for Tito's trust and hoping for better political and economic ties with Yugoslavia.
What's up? Nothing, bro. Leeching of other people's content. My favorite pastime.
And Norway itching for the day it could obliterate its aquatic enemies.
What?
As such, Yugoslavia was,
Why?
in theory, a huge favorite to become the first non-aligned nuclear power, ahead of friendly rivals like India or Egypt. I forgot to mention another critical element necessary for a fruitful nuclear weapons program. Money.
Good luck. Money?
loads of
You don't need money in Yugoslavia, bro. We had bratstvo i jedinstvo. We don't need money. That's for them capitalist piece of shits up there. And how am I doing? Very, very, very poorly. You know, I'm dying.
money. Tito and the rest of his administration was hell-bent on getting the bomb at all costs. I mean, who knows what would have happened if Gandhi got the nuke first? And the cost was immense, almost crippling to the economy. One of Tito's closest associates even said, "We must have the atomic bomb. We must build it even if it costs us 1/2 of our income for years." Because of
Motherfucker,
this, Yugoslavia would become heavily reliant on IMF loans and foreign economic aid to remain sustainable.
Hello, Biden.
As more and more funds were allocated.
I love that meme. I love that. Hello, Biden. It's Zelensky. We need a nuclear bomb. I fucking love that meme, bro. I miss 20 something. I don't know when the whole Ukraine thing started, bro. It seemed like it was yesterday. But I think it's like 5 years ago. 3, 2, 3, 5. I don't know, bro. I don't know. There is a road they're building down the street. It started before the war. It's still not finished. They might actually finish the war before that road is done. So yeah.
To the clandestine nuke program. Definitely a necessary sacrifice to ensure the country's security, and definitely unrelated to its military inferiority complex. Obviously, when you attempt to secretly develop atomic bombs, hiding all traces of your experiments becomes arguably harder than the experiments
It was
themselves.
secret,
Like
what?
the time they amateurishly doxed their researchers.
Wasn't everyone after World War II just open about, yeah, we need nukes, we're building nukes, fuck secrets, bro, just nukes, until like, I don't know, this was during the Cold War, yeah, wasn't everyone just build nukes, build, everyone knew everyone was building, but I guess everyone was keeping it secret. I don't know, bro, I played PUBG Mobile during history class.
Real name to the Norwegians when they requested a list of recipients
Why?
for the
Hello, it's Tito. We hit 5 billion heavy water to power our nation. Sincerely, Yugoslavia.
heavy water. But get this, the Norwegians were happy even with fictional names, and it was the Yugoslav bureaucracy that broke the secrecy and sent the actual names of their personnel. To which the
Why?
Yugoslavian embassy
They're
just
dumb,
said,
bro.
It doesn't matter who knows about our heavy water purchase. We're a federal state and it will be distributed across the federation.
Do not dox your
Tito
co-workers to the
relied heavily on
Norwegians.
the Yugoslav military officials and the secret services to closely monitor the nuclear weapons project and keep it as covert as possible. However, due to his growing paranoia, Tito's hiring policy slowly became based more on political loyalty and ass-kissing than on any scientific competence or experience. Key
yeah.
positions were
Such is our way of life.
being filled by party loyalists with little to no experience, causing a slew of organizational and technical problems. Alright, Comrade Tito, here we have our two top candidates for the position of Chief Nuclear Development Director. Stoyan Vasic, doctor in nuclear physics and chemistry, who's written multiple dissertations on Manhattan Project
Yes,
and
yes.
won numerous academic awards at Belgrade Faculty of Natural
Yeah,
Science.
yeah. And the other guy is someone's nephew.
My son,
A son, even better.
loyal party member since he was born, Brusli Iljazovic. Glory to Yugoslavia. Hired. Despite the immense secrecy, the
It's funny because it's fucking true, bro.
program was a testament to negligence and irresponsibility. Nuclear
Where do people find the 360p Gmod clips? What the fuck?
materials, including highly enriched uranium, were stored in dilapidated hangars at the Vinsha Institute,
Yeah.
secured by nothing more than a simple wire fence, a rusty padlock, and all-reliable Bogdan with his bottle of rakia and his pack of Drina cigarettes. Indeed,
I do think
it
that's
was
even
equipped with
over-exaggerated.
state-of-the-art
Probably
security that
even less.
America and the USSR could only ever dream of. nothing could come in the way of Yugoslavia's nuclear ambitions. Except the millions and millions in IMF loans. If only Yugoslavia had diversified its income, maybe they could have survived. Probably not. That boat was sinking from the beginning. But you cannot make the same mistake by diversifying your investments. And what better way to
I smell a sponsor.
do so than with stock
I smell a sponsor.
and the help of today's sponsor,
Yeah.
Liberty Defense.
Sorry, bro.
Buy and upgrade airport
Sorry, bro.
plastic or 3D printed guns. Hexwave can scan
Sorry, bro.
boards from the TSA to help modernize over 1,000 airport body scanners using Liberty
still the
Defense
sponsor, what?
and some PAs
End up here.
from others such as mining companies.
Smash though.
Defense in a great position to fulfill this demand with the already TSA approved Hexwave systems. I don't usually promote companies of this sort on the channel and have
But bro,
previously
this is still the
discussed
sponsor,
others
bro.
as mining
Please.
companies. If you'd like on screen intelligence.
Please.
In October 9th,
I am leeching off people, but I'm still allergic to sponsors.
1958, 6 young researchers were conducting a routine experiment on a nuclear reactor in the Vinča Institute. At some point, they had failed to turn off a pump, causing the water moderator to reach a dangerous point of criticality. The researchers had even detected a strong smell of ozone, but didn't bother to check its source, thinking Bogdan ripped another fat one. Oh, Bogdan. But
Oh, Bogdan.
10 full minutes later, after seeing Bogdan was out taking a piss in the outhouse, they realized that they had unknowingly caused an uncontrolled nuclear chain reaction,
Makes sense.
exposing themselves headfirst to 80 million joules of radiation. The 6
Honestly,
of them
that's
were
nothing.
urgently transported to France to be treated immediately. The radiation doses they were exposed to were pretty much near lethal, and for one of them it was too little too late, but the rest of them managed to live on for decades post-exposure thanks to revolutionary bone marrow transplants, something unheard of in Europe at the time. So at least something good came out of this total disaster. The Vinča incident was ultimately caused by human incompetence and clumsiness. So the embarrassing reports on the disaster were kept secret. Still undeterred,
Wow.
the Yugoslav nuclear research continued as usual, thankfully with fewer incidents of such magnitude and such idiocy. In the 1960s, progress on the bomb slowed down significantly. To no one's surprise, splitting the research into 3 centers located in 3 different republics led to jack shit. Also, remember when I told you about the Soviet-supplied RA reactor? Well, in their eternal wisdom, the Soviets never bothered to teach the Yugoslav scientists how the reactor works. So, when some technical issues were discovered, nobody knew how to fix the reactor. And
Man, truth be told, even if they did tell them how to fix it, no one would actually fix shit. That's just how the story goes here.
they tried everything. Duct tape, WD-40, giving it a big
Whoa. We probably didn't have WD-40, bro. No.
sloppy kiss.
That's the most historically
the RA
inaccurate thing.
reactor was basically a shiny pile of metal that mostly lay dormant until it was officially shut down in 1984, after 25 years of quote-unquote operation. Welcome to Yugoslavia, comrade. Could I interest you in sip of finest rakia? Like,
I know what he does the Russian accent though.
yes,
That's-
thank you.
that's something.
Is that RA reactor we gifted you? Aren't you supposed to use for nuclear research? No, comrade, it is for making rakia. RA in its name stands for Rakia Reactor.
Honestly, they would just do that. They
Silly.
would so fucking do
Silly
that.
Soviet. The
They would
nuclear
so fucking
weapons
do that.
program also suffered from cost cutting, as the higher ups decided that it just wasn't worth the hassle anymore. The Soviets were on friendly terms, business with the West was booming, and Bogdan was asking for a pay raise a bit too often. So there was no urgency, especially when they had nothing to show for their work. More importantly, Tito's foreign policy strategy shifted away from nuclear arming, deciding that instead of arming himself, he should try to disarm his opponents instead, and make them realize the power of friendship. As a leader of
Too
the
little, too
non-aligned
late, by the
movement,
way.
Yugoslavia's moral authority in the 60s was built on its championing of disarmament and nuclear non-proliferation. All the while, his team of researchers could secretly try to get their shit together, which they did not. So,
Yeah.
the final nail in the coffin came in the year 1970. Yugoslavia signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, halted their nuclear weapons program, and so the Yugoslav atomic bomb saga came to an end. Until 1974, when India, Yugoslavia's fiercest non-aligned rival and fellow non-proliferator, successfully conducted its first nuclear test. What did I say about Gandhi? As a founder and self-proclaimed leader of the non-aligned movement, Tito would not let India challenge and undermine Yugoslavia's status.
Man.
Global wasn't
That is actually a bit too late, but shut
even
up.
invented yet. So he recalled all his top researchers and military officers and ordered them to get back to the drawing board and build that damn nuke. I swear to God. I swear to God. I will Gandhi. I will rent-free cock. Of course, the development of atomic bombs needed to be kept in total secrecy, since Yugoslavia was still non-proliferating. On paper, that is. Tito really wanted
everyone
to have
is
his cake and eat it
non-proliferating
too.
on
However,
paper.
because of the superficial reasoning of the program's revival, none of its glaring flaws were addressed, and barely any progress was made in getting the bomb. Even worse, the handful
What
of
is this?
trained scientists
Not much,
and
not much.
physicians that were trained
People doing nukes. Yugoslavia tried to make nukes. That went as good as,
during the
might
nuclear
think it
program's inception left Yugoslavia to pursue better opportunities and better paychecks westwards. Because if one thing is true about Balkaners, as soon as their visa gets approved, they'll be out trucking in Germany. Auf Wiedersehen! In 1980,
Visa?
disaster
Bro, we
struck
don't need
when
visa.
Tito died of gangrene, most likely caused by the mere thought of India acquiring a nuke before him, throwing Yugoslavia into turmoil and permanently exempting himself from being held accountable for what came next. To combat any potential foreign threats in such tumultuous times, the pace of the nuclear pursuit intensified, split into two parallel programs for military and civilian purposes, respectively. But without Tito, both nuclear projects were plagued by rising tensions, political decentralization, and a collapsing
without
economy.
Tito we were
Tito's
done.
followers eventually
Thank you,
axed
thank
the
you.
nuclear project
I will
in
keep
favor of
leeching
trying
off
to keep
people.
the country together.
That's
but
fun.
to
I
no
live for
avail.
that.
To be fair, I do wonder how the Yugoslav wars would have looked like if they did complete it in time.
We want independence.
They would blow just themselves up. Like,
No more
No.
Yugoslavia. Trust is ours. Wait.
Yeah.
What's that?
yeah.
Oh, but the story doesn't end here. Following
Loved
both
animation.
the end of the Yugoslav nuclear program and the fall of Yugoslavia itself, no one actually bothered to clean up the nuclear residue from the testing sites. Nuclear materials from the program remained in despair and became a major security risk. The Vinci Institute had tons of radioactive waste stored in the open and poorly maintained hangars, so not up to international standards, to say the least.
Standards? What? I mean, that's a bonus, man. That's a bonus. You never throw stuff away. You never know when you'll need a bunch of
The
nuclear
horrible
waste.
state of the nuclear waste in Vincha prompted Russia and the US to work together on a joint mission to secure the hazardous material, the largest in the history of the IAEA, together with thousands of Serbian
The fucking liberal sissies and I don't know what Russia is always trying to meddle in other people's stuff. They were keeping that nuclear waste for something they needed. You never know when you're gonna need a bunch of nuclear waste. Shut the fuck up.
policemen, military personnel,
Why is phone
and
phoning?
NGOs. They
Because
successfully
it's phoning, what
transported
the fuck?
2.5 tons of highly enriched uranium from Vincha all the way to Russia for reprocessing at a
Wow.
measly cost of $55 million.
That's chump change,
that was
bro,
the
what?
story of the world's greatest nuclear program. A noble and ambitious mission filled with comical errors, half measures, and all that trademark Balkan nonsense.
Nah, bro. If Titus stayed alive, they would have had the nukes. In the 40s, even though he died in the 80s. But yeah, you know what? It was all them Clinton's fault.